विहारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यमुना तीरा बनचारी हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद। नित्य गौरा हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल नित्य गौरा हरि बोल। हरिनाम संकीर्तन की His Grace Kamal Krishna Prabhu on Mridanga and Manjari Gopi Mataji on Kartal ki jai. So before we do any class, we do Mangalacharan. We pray to the Guru Varga and everyone to bless us. So please sing along with me. It's all there. I'll go slow so that we can all... am I audible? I'll do a little bit more. Is that better? Okay. All right. So let's sing along, okay? Om Ajnanatimmirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurve Namah Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yutapadakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitamscha Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namane Gauratvishe Namaha Panchatattvatmakam Krishnam Bhaktarupa Swarupakam Bhaktavataram Bhaktakyam Namami Bhakta Shaktikam He Krishna Karuna Sindho Deenabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shrivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Thank you so much again for coming here on a Saturday evening and spending your valuable time with each other. And please bless me so that I can speak of some value to you today. And if I say something that you like it, it's because I have taken it from all the teachers. If you don't like something or I hurt your feelings, it's my own fault. So please forgive me for that at the outset. We're going to talk about Bhagavad Gita in general a little bit, and then we'll talk about the verse today. And it could be interactive. So if there is something that you are not understanding, please feel free to stop and ask a question. That's how we learn. Is that okay? Everybody? Yes? Haribol? Haribol. So 5 basic truths about Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita talks about 5 main subjects. Who can say what are they? Anybody can chime in. 1. Start with 1. Bhagavan or God. Prakriti or nature. Kala or time. Atma or Jiva. What else? 5th one remaining. We talked about Ishvara. No. Bhakti, yes, but not in the 5 main topics. Yes. Karma, yes. Who said that? Yo, thank you. Yeah, you should come in the front line, not in the back line. Please come here. So 5 basic truths. If you want to remember, there is that poster right there. You see, at the talk, we can talk about 5 basic truths about Krishna, about Bhagavad Gita that are talked about. So those are the 5 things that's difficult for you to see. You can see it on the screen here, right? Sometimes it's very difficult to understand. How do we remember that, right? If we form some kind of connection, it's easy to remember. So it talks about us. That's why we are all here. It is relevant to us, right, as a soul. So it talks about us, jiva or soul, right? Second thing, it talks about the nature, the world that we are living in. That's nature, or that's prakriti, the Sanskrit word for it. Now, how are we connected in this world? What do? We do certain activities in this world. And what do we call those activities? Karma. Naturally, everything has been created by God, supreme person or divinity. So Bhagavad Gita talks about God. And then how is it that God controls everything? God controls nature through time, and we are all controlled by time, right? Anybody here who is not controlled by time? I would like to know. Nobody. Everybody is, right? So that's how God controls us, through nature, through time. But we are all, why are we reading Bhagavad Gita? Why Krishna said Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna? Is to form a connection, to realize the right connection. The connection is already there between the soul. Hare Krishna, Manali Mataji, welcome. The connection is already there between us and Krishna, and that connection to form, that's yoga. The word yoga means to join, right? Yoga means to join. So joining of what to what? Joining of us to the Lord, that's yoga. And there are various ways to join it, through karma, through jnana, through yoga itself, and through bhakti. And that's bhakti yoga. So all these yogas are talked about in Bhagavad Gita. Is that easy to understand? 5 topics in Bhagavad Gita. Not a big deal, right? And the cheat sheet is right there. If next time anyone asks you, you can just turn to your right and go that answer. So overall, Bhagavad Gita has got how many chapters? 18 chapters. How many days was the Kurukshetra war? Mahabharat Kurukshetra war? 18 days. That was also 18 days, 18 chapters. Not as such relation, but just a numerical findings. Broadly, Bhagavad Gita can be divided into 3 parts. There are 18 chapters. They can be divided into 3 parts. The first 6 chapters are generally dealing with how we can live in this world. They are like the manual of life in this world if you want to just work. And that is known as karma yoga. How by even working in this world we can connect to God. How to do the right things in the right way. That's karma yoga. And in details of that karma yoga, in first 6 chapters, there is knowledge of Atma, Jnana, Sankhya, Sakam karma yoga, working with attention to our fruits of results, so fruitive actions. Nishkam karma yoga, where we work without any expectations of fruits, so Nishkam karma yoga. And then that leads to doing meditation or dhyana yoga, and that one, there are 8 limbs of that yoga ladder that are Ashtanga yoga that are described. So all this is in the first 6 chapters. Talks about how to live. The next 6 chapters, chapter 7 to 12, that's like the cream of Bhagavad Gita, right? The middle. In the best part of a sandwich, it's in the middle, right? It's the best part of the Oreo, the cream in the middle, right? Or the best part of the Milano cookies if you want, right? That's cream in the middle. So the best part of Bhagavad Gita is in the middle, where in the middle 6 chapters, Bhakti Yoga is described, where Krishna says, you directly surrender to me and you'll get the results of everything. And that he said, you think about me all the time. And that's what is Mat Chitta. Put your Chitta into me, put your mind and consciousness into me. So Mat Chitta. And that is actually how we love God. That's the essence of the middle 6th chapter. And the last 6th chapter, Krishna gives more knowledge about this world and everything in this world as to how this world works. And that is Jnana Yoga. So knowledge of Jiva, of the Prakriti, which is the nature, and knowledge of God himself, that is Ishvara. And that he says how to let go. Once you have the knowledge of the world, you would know that this world is temporary. There's nothing here in this world that is mine. So it's very easy for you to let go. And that actually is the basis of real happiness. So in a nutshell, first 6 chapters talk about us. Krishna talks about us, you or us, right? In the next 6 chapter, Krishna talks about himself. He talks about himself so that we can know him better. And in the last 6th chapter, he talks about the nature in which we are. Is that an okay understanding of Bhagavad Gita, the whole book, as to how you can divide the various chapters? Make sense? Should I go forward? I didn't hear. Yes, I would need to know that, or else I'm going to go sleep. I would not know, right? So we'll talk a little briefly about every chapter, so you get an idea of what it is. And I'll give you one word that you can remember that will give you the gist of that chapter. And this comes from a program known as Think Gita, which simplifies the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita into very bite-sized, so to say, presentations that you can assimilate very well. So the first chapter is observing the armies, where in the battlefield, Arjun, part of Pandavas, is going to fight Duryodhan, that is part of Kauravas. And in the battlefield, Krishna is driving, he's the charioteer of Arjun. And he is there, and Arjun has a moment of doubt. And that is where he says, wait, I don't want to fight, right? Whenever you're doing something and you have a doubt, what do? You stop, right? You stop, you think, you question whether you're doing right or wrong. So this first chapter is actually a chapter of doubt. So many people had doubt. Dhritarashtra was the son of the evil kings, Duryodhana's father, and he had a doubt. What are my people doing in the battlefield? He was not sure who is going to win, right? Then Duryodhan himself had a doubt as to, what is going to happen. So he was encouraging his own army that, you do better. And then more things happen in the first chapter where there is, the conch shells that go off. And then Arjuna asked Krishna, let me go in the middle and actually observe. Who am I here to fight? Why are these people so eager to fight to me? And then in the end, Arjuna says, you know what, I think this fight is not good. There are many reasons he gives and he decides not to fight. So this chapter number 1 is a chapter about doubt. Would you remember that word? Chapter 1 is? I didn't hear it. Doubt. Everybody had doubt. So that was chapter 1. We go to chapter 2. Chapter 2 is content of Bhagavad Gita summarized. So in fact, the whole knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, 18 chapters, Krishna gives in the second chapter. Vansal Uncle, Hare Krishna. Welcome. So, content summarized, it's a very nutshell description of the whole Bhagavad Gita knowledge in just that chapter. So the acronym for this chapter also is Gita. It's very easy to understand. How the acronym is Gita? Because as soon as Arjuna is confused, Arjuna says to Krishna, Krishna, I don't know what to do, you tell me. And you become my guru and I surrender to you. So the first thing is that Arjuna makes Krishna his guru. So G is for guru. Next, Krishna starts teaching the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. And the first thing that Krishna teaches Arjuna is, Arjuna, who are you? Your identity, right? Many times we are confused. What should I do? Whether I do family duties, whether I do work duties, whether I do duties towards my parents, whether I do duties towards my in-laws, how about my friends, and how about my spouse's friends, and how about myself? What do I do for it? We are confused between various identities. What's my real identity? That's the question. So Krishna gives that answer to Arjuna of identity. And then after that, Krishna tells Arjuna that as a body, you have got a duty. You are in this body, you are a husband, you are a fighter, you are a king, you have to do your duties. So Arjuna has to have two duties. Krishna says you are two duties. One is your bodily duties, that is swadharma. In this world you do swadharma. And the next is, actually you are not this body, you are in this body, but you are a soul, you are a spirit soul. So as a spirit soul, you don't just have duties of this body, but you have duties that are eternal. We know that Sanatana. Sanatan word is eternal. So Sanatan Dharma. Dharma is duties. So Sanatan Dharma is eternal duty. So you have an eternal duty as a spirit soul. And you have Swadharma, your own bodily duty. So there are two duties described in second chapter. So G is for Guru, I is for identity, T is for two duties, Swadharma and Sanatan Dharma. When you do all this, what will happen to you? You'll become very happy. You'll become really very happy. You'll become Atmaram. You'll become happy in yourself. You would not need anything from outside. Don't we all want to get to that stage? Who here wants to be happy? One hand up. Who here wants to be very happy? Both hands up, right? So how can we become very happy? By getting the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. Second chapter is the key. And the acronym is Gita. Guru, identity, two duties, and Atmaram. That is happy person. Then come to third chapter. Arjuna said, you know what? You told me too many things and you told it too quickly. So can you please slow down and tell me a little bit more in detail? So now Krishna starts giving all the knowledge in detail. So that goes from third chapter on to like 17th and 18th. He summarizes everything. So that's how the flow of Bhagavad Gita is. So what is the third chapter? The third chapter title is Karma Yoga. So it's a yoga. And remember what was yoga? Yoga was connection, right? To join, connection. Karma Yoga is we join with God through karma, through our duties. That is Karma Yoga. So chapter 3 is divided into parts, and the acronym to remember the import of chapter 3 is tree. It is very simple. And how does tree come into play? The first portion is when Arjuna is confused. Arjuna doesn't understand what to do. He says, should I renounce everything or should I do my duties? I'm not sure what to do. Then Krishna actually gives the real definition of renunciation or tyaga. That's where the T comes in for the tree. So that's the second portion of third chapter. And then he talks about that if you actually live this life, it will be regulated life. You do your duties, you do regulated. And everything, if you do in a regulation, things will be fine, right? Most of the problems we see in this world are because things are not regulated or our behavior is not regulated. Take, for example, many diseases that happen because of eating habits, right? Almost a third of our country right now is overweight. We are not regulated in our eating habits. Most of our problems also come from inactivity. Why? Because we are not regulated in our exercise. Right? We are not regulated in our time for waking up or our time to going to bed. If you regulate every activity, then we will be happy, things will be better. So that's regulation. And then when we lead this kind of life, then we become exemplary. What happens? Everybody else will follow. If the leader of the house, the elder person, follows a certain routine, everybody else will follow it. Right? Same way it happens in the community, happens at workplace, so you become exemplary. So that's the E. So we have T, R, E, and the final E is Krishna tells Arjuna that even though I know, for example, that exercise is good, even though we all know that eating in moderation is good, then what is it that actually impels us not to do the right thing? Or even if we know that something is wrong, we should not take shortcuts. Sometimes we do take shortcuts. And we know that that's not right and we might do it. What is it that impels us to do the wrong thing? And that enemy, Krishna says, is lust. So that is eternal enemy. At every point, that lust is there. We know that the spiritual life is important and we have to do here. We have conquered our willpower to do something else and we are here on Saturday. But we are only a few people here. Majority of the people are not here in Cincinnati. Why? Because they are not able to conquer that. They know that spiritual life is actually good, but they are not able to do it because they are under this enemy of lust. So that is chapter 3. And the acronym here is TREE. And TREE is a good example of how we should lead our karma life. How is tree is always tolerant? The tree never criticizes anybody, and the tree never blasphemes anybody. And whatever you do to the tree is always giving. Even if you cut the tree is always giving. It'll give you wood, it'll give you fruits, it'll give you flower, it'll give you everything. Right? So that's an acronym of chapter 3. Karma Yoga, tree. Tyaga, regulation, exemplary life, and enemy. You're all with me? Should we go forward? Which is the next chapter? Chapter 4. Yes, good. That was a trick question, right? No, not at all. Just so that, once we answer questions, we are here in the moment. If you're not talking, then we are all not receptive. We will not understand. Chapter 4, the title is Transcendental Knowledge. Transcendental knowledge is when Krishna talks about the parampara in the very beginning. He says, Evam parampara praptam. So he establishes what we call the spiritual lineage or the university. And this knowledge, how it comes down from Krishna, the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita is not that it is not developed in a university. It is not manufactured knowledge. It's a knowledge that is eternal, that always was, is, and always will be, because it comes from the spiritual world. And how does it come? That's described in the beginning of chapter 4. And then Krishna says, the real understanding comes only when we get this knowledge with somebody in that disciplic line. So we have to have a bona fide teacher, a teacher who in that line has given that knowledge as is, without adulteration. And who do we get the knowledge from? Srila Prabhupada. So Srila Prabhupada or A.C. Bhaktivedanta Prabhupada has written Bhagavad Gita translation in English as it is, without any adulteration. That's why we follow this book of Bhagavad Gita. This is the original Bhagavad Gita as it is. What happens when we actually get this eternal knowledge? Once we get this knowledge, we have a real understanding of who we are, who Krishna is, and who the world is. So we can accurately apply this knowledge. So A is for accurate understanding. Then the next section of chapter 4 talks about once you apply this knowledge, then your reactions are removed. So you do not get the reactions of your karma. So you essentially make progress in your spiritual life. So that's the R. And then it talks about how we can attain this real knowledge, not just by studies, but by actually sacrifice. It's a little strange concept, but material knowledge comes by studying. Spiritual knowledge comes by application or sacrifice. How does that happen? Materially, you can read something and you will get to know it. You become a theoretical scientist, right? You'll become a theoretical physicist. You can have a whole career just based on theory. But in spirituality, you have to put the knowledge into practice. That's when the knowledge sinks in deeper. When I say chant the holy name, you can read it 10 times, but unless you chant, you would not get the results of it, right? And which mantra do we chant? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. When we chant it, when we sing it in kirtan, then we get the results of it. And why is it a sacrifice? Because we are sitting here chanting, we are taking our time and giving it in the service of the Lord. So it's essentially a sacrifice. So sacrifice gives us knowledge, and that is the S. So acronym for chapter 4 is ears. Why ears? Because how do we get knowledge? By hearing, by listening. That's the first step of knowledge. So chapter number 4, transcendental knowledge, ears. That's how the chapter is divided. Making sense? What was chapter number 1? Doubt. What is chapter number 2? Gita. Chapter number 3? Trees. Chapter number 4? Ears. Chapter number 5 is that with this knowledge, Arjuna is ready to step into the world, right? So that's chapter number 5. You do karma yoga or action in Krishna consciousness. That's the heading of chapter number 5. You're doing karma with the right knowledge. And there is, parts of that. Well, Arjuna asked the same question as he asked in the beginning of the 3rd chapter. Krishna says that karma yoga is better than sannyasa. So he says you stay in this world. You don't run away. Don't run away to the forest. You stay in this world. And then he talks about the 3 doers. That any action you do, you desire as a jiva, Krishna sanctions as super soul, and the nature makes it happen. So these are the 3 doers. Jiva, Krishna, Paramatma, and the nature. That's how it happens. And then the E stands for equal vision. Once you have the right knowledge, then you get equal vision. You see everybody equally. Right? The famous verse 5:18. If people are taking notes, they can. 5:18 is the verse that signifies equal vision. Right? And then finally, in chapter number 5, the last verse is the peace formula. Right? How Krishna says that if you understand that Bhoktaram Yajna Tapasam Sarva Loka Maheshwaram Suhridam Sarva Bhutanam Jnatva Mam Shantim Rachati. Shanti. So this is the verse in the last chapter of Bhagavad, the last verse of 5th chapter, which says that if you know that I am the actual enjoyer of all the sacrifices, that's how you will be really happy. So that's chapter 5. With the knowledge that we have gained, we step into the world. So chapter 5 acronym is STEP. Then comes chapter 6. This is the last chapter of the first section of Bhagavad Gita, which is Karma Yoga. And this chapter is, the acronym is easy. Arjuna asked, what you have told me seems a little complicated. Do you have any other easy options? So Krishna says, okay, you want an easy option? He goes upon describing Dhyana Yoga. Initially, he talks about Ashtanga Yoga, which are the 8 steps. This Ashtanga Yoga poster is in the Prasadam hall. So if you want to know what Ashtanga Yoga steps are, if you go in the Prasadam hall, you can review that. After that, Krishna talks about the various stages. Then he talks about the necessity of controlling mind, which is very, very important. Then he talks about what happens if you take spirituality and you don't succeed. So either have success or you have failure. In both cases, what is your result? That's he talks about. And finally, he talks about a good yogi, the best yogi, not only just good. He talks about the best yogi. Like if you do yoga, who is the best yoga? And in the end of the 6th chapter, Krishna says, Yoginam api sarvesham mad gaten antaratmana shraddhavan bhajate yo mam same yukta tamomata. So out of the best yogi, the one who actually thinks of me all the time and does his work is the best yogi. So that is chapter number 6. Easy, right? It's actually Ashtanga Yoga is not the easiest of yoga. The other things are easy. But when Arjuna asked, Krishna gave this answer, and then Krishna said that this is very difficult. Arjuna says that this is very difficult to do. And Krishna says yes. And then we go to 7th chapter when Krishna starts describing Bhakti Yoga. Krishna tells to Arjuna, I have given you the reasons why you should fight. Thus far, all the reasons were based on karma. I'm going to give you now reasons that actually are bhakti yoga. So what is essentially bhakti? Bhakti is defined or translated by Srila Prabhupada as devotional service. So when we serve the Lord and His creation with devotion and with love, that's actually bhakti. Okay, that's why bhakti yoga is. So the structure of this chapter 7 is the knowledge about absolute. Well, Krishna starts giving knowledge about himself. Krishna is the supreme divinity, he is the absolute truth. There is no truth beyond him, so we call him absolute truth. The way this chapter is divided is acronym is head. In the very beginning, Krishna gives knowledge about himself. And how do we get this knowledge? By hearing, by exactly doing what we are doing right now. That's how we get the knowledge about Krishna. So H stands for hearing. And then once we have this knowledge, then we will see Krishna everywhere. So that is the E. We get knowledge of Krishna and we see Krishna everywhere. Then we surrender to the Lord. Some people do, some people still don't do it, even after hearing everything. We get to know that. Who are the people who surrender? Who are the people who don't surrender? So who people accept, who reject. And then finally, Krishna talks about demigods and what is their role and who they are. And the final part of the 7th chapter talks about how we can be delusioned by Maya and we can go from there to devotion to Krishna. So that's where the whole structure of Bhagavad Gita in chapter 7 is. And we are on the very beginning of chapter 7. We're going to talk about 7.5. So we are in this section here, knowledge of Krishna's energy. Does that make sense thus far? Yes? I didn't hear it. Yes, I am so happy that you're all here with me. So how are we going to do verse 5 of 7? I'm going to say it and then you'll repeat after me. And the louder will you repeat, the deeper it's going to sink in your consciousness. Right? So let's start. Apareyam itastvan anyam prakritim vidime param jiva bhutam mahabaho yayedam dharyate jagat apareyam itastvanyam prakritim vidime param jiva bhutam mahabaho yayedam dharyate jagat. Anybody among ladies would like to sing? Apareyam itastvanyam prakritim vidime param jiva bhutam mahabaho yayedam dhare jagat. Young man, anybody? Apareyam itastvanyam prakritim vidime param jiva bhutam mahabaho yayedam dharyate jagat. Thank you. So I'm going to skip the synonyms. We'll go to translation. So translation of the verse goes, besides this, O mighty armed Arjuna, there is another superior energy of mind which comprises the living entities who are exploiting the resources of this material inferior nature. So we would not know what is it, right? What is Krishna talking about? So let's see what Krishna said in the previous verses. This is 7.5. So if we quickly go through the previous verses, we'll get the idea, the context in which Krishna is talking about. So 7.1, Krishna starts by saying, is that Krishna says, now hear, O son of Pritha, that is Arjuna, how by practicing yoga in full consciousness of me, with mind attached to me, you can know me in full, free from doubt. Remember what was the end of the 6th chapter we talked about? Krishna described who is the best yogi, right? Now Krishna is describing how you become that best yogi. So how you can know me in full. In 7.2, Krishna says, I shall now declare unto you in full this knowledge, which is both phenomenal and numinous, which is both of this material world and beyond this material world that we cannot understand. Being known, nothing further shall remain for you to know. Wouldn't we all need to know this knowledge? A knowledge that if we have, after having this, nothing else needs to be known. It's like the code for every lock, a file that will unlock the secrets of this world, right? That's the knowledge that Krishna is giving in this chapter. 7.3, Krishna says, out of many thousands of men, one may endeavor for perfection. And of those who have achieved perfection, hardly one knows me in truth. So Krishna is saying, actually, this is very, very rare. Out of many thousands of people, one might desire to know me. And of those people who actually endeavor to know me, only few know me in truth. So we are very fortunate, dear friends, that we are here and we are trying to learn to know about Krishna, right? It's very, very fortunate situation. So in 7.4, when Krishna starts talking about himself, this was the verse that Priya Radhika Mataji talked about last Saturday. And she said, Bhumirapu analovayu kammano buddhirevacha ahankara iti amme bhinna prakriti ashtada. This is the verse, and it translates earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intelligence, and false ego. All together, these 8 constitute my separated material energies, right? So in this verse, Krishna talks about material energies. And what all are material energies? We went into detail last time, but just to recap, everything that we see around us, that we can touch, that we can see, that we can feel, we can smell, we can hear, all that material is material. In addition to that, our mind, our intelligence, and the understanding that I am this body, this also are material things, right? Mind, intelligence, and false ego is also material. And Krishna says that this is his inferior energy. This leads us to the very first, very important verse today, where Krishna talks about living beings being the superior energy, right? So let me ask you this question. Thus far, is Krishna talking about us? Is he talking about the world? Or is he talking about himself? And why? Who would like to answer? Talking about all three. How many people agree with Kalyan Prabhu? Only 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, why is half hand? You should go like this. Either all in or all. Yeah. You tell me your name, Mataji. Yes. Morgan. Very good. So everybody else does not believe Kalyan Prabhu, so what's your answer? He's talking about himself? Okay. That is Ajay Prabhu. He's talking about the world. Okay. How about anybody else? Talking about us? No? Yes. Yeah. Correct. Correct. Yeah. So he has talked about us. He's also talking about himself because he's saying he's coming from him, right? Why is he talking about himself also? Why is he doing this? Why is he telling to Arjuna? He has already told Arjuna so many reasons to fight on basis of karma, on the basis of jnana, on the basis of nishkam karma, right? But why is he now starting to tell about himself to Arjuna? Yeah, that is good. So ultimately, what is the goal? The goal for Krishna is to induce in Arjuna and everybody else through Arjuna love for him. So love for God or love for Krishna is the goal, ultimate goal. And how can we love Krishna without knowing who Krishna is, right? To love someone, you have to know that person, to understand that person, right? And for that very reason, Krishna starts telling Arjuna about his energies. And that is just a very little introduction about Krishna. Krishna is infinite, he's unlimited. It is difficult to know him in full. And Krishna says that in Bhagavad Gita itself. But still, I'm going to tell you a little bit about my splendor. And that's what Krishna is saying. Krishna is saying that how everything is coming from me. Thus far, Krishna said everything material is his separated material energy, right? And in this verse, 5.7, Krishna says that besides these material things that make the whole universe that we see, O Arjuna, there is another superior energy of mine which comprises the living entities. That is all of us, right? And what are we doing? We are exploiting the resources of this material inferior nature. Are we not exploiting material nature? We all are, right? We all are sitting in this building. This building is made up of material nature. Is it not? We are exploiting the inferior nature. That's why we are the superior energy. We are Krishna's superior. And that's what Krishna is saying. Prabhupada makes very beautiful points in the purport, and we'll go through some of these points. Prabhupada starts here in the purport by saying that here it's clearly mentioned that the living entities belong to the superior nature of, or superior energy of Krishna, right? We talked about the inferior energy is the matter, and it manifests in different elements, namely earth, water, fire, air, ether. Also mind, intelligence, and false ego, the subtle elements that we can't really see. Both of these are products of the inferior energy, but living entities are superior energy. Now let me ask you one thing. Is this microphone material or spiritual? Everybody said material? Did I hear spiritual from anyone? No. Say that again. Depending on the use, it varies. Kalyan Prabhu said, depending on how you are using the microphone, it can be material or it can be spiritual. That's a twist in the story. Everybody unanimously said material. Who are with Kalyan Prabhu? He's a rookie right now, going against everybody. I see more hands are being raised. That's very good. Your political party is winning. That's exactly right. That energy, Krishna's energy, if we use it in Krishna's service, then it becomes spiritual. If we use it for singing songs for our own glorification, for any mundane purpose, for any political propaganda, then it becomes material energy. Now, spiritual energy is eternal, right? So some people might say that this microphone was not there before the company manufactured it. And like any other material thing, after some time, this is going to break down, go in garbage. So is this eternal? So anything material, is that eternal or no? I hear no. If it is not eternal, then how can it be spiritual? So tell me something. Is there a concept of conservation of mass? All the scientific-minded people, right? There is a scientist that we know, that everybody knows. He said that you cannot destroy mass. You can only change it. It can go from material to energy or energy to material. There is a constant change that happens. And energy is never destroyed. It only gets transformed. So this is spiritual energy of the Lord, if you're using in spiritual purposes, if it is not, it's material. But material energy also comes from the Lord itself. That's what Krishna is saying. So we are the superior energy of the Lord, and we can use things either in service of Krishna or not in service of Krishna for our own self. When we use things in service of Krishna, then they become spiritual. When we don't use them, they become material. But material things also do not get destroyed. It's always there. It's sometimes manifest, sometimes it is not manifest, right? That's what Krishna is describing. When we continue the purport, Prabhupada explains the living entities who are exploiting this inferior energy for different purposes are the superior energy of the Supreme Lord. And it is due to this energy that the material world is functioning. So this material world is functioning because we, as the living entities, are the superior energy, and we are making things work. We are animating things. Otherwise, things are dead. They don't have any life to them. The cosmic manifestation has no power to act unless it is moved by the superior energy. So we, as living entities, all of us, are the superior energy of the Lord, right? We are making things move. How many of you remember the Duracell ad and the Energizer Bunny ad? Mahesh Prabhu, Vinu Mataji, everybody, most of the people, right? So they don't die, right? They say they don't die. But at some point, when one battery in their ad says the other battery dies, and the other battery in their ad says the first battery dies, and we all know that eventually all batteries die. When there is no battery, the thing is dead. Same way, think about our body. Our body is just that bunny. And our soul is the superior energy that is making it move. And that superior energy is the energy of the Lord. Energies are always controlled by energetic. This is the other concept to understand. As to, if there is energy, there has to be a source of energy. And that source of energy is the energetic. And therefore, living entities are always controlled by the Lord. If we are energy, Lord is the energetic, because he is saying that everything is coming from him. Then who is controlling who? The Lord is controlling us. We saw that in the very beginning also. Like everybody is controlled by time. And who is controlling time? The Lord, right? So we know that we are being controlled by the Lord. So are we equal to the Lord? We can never be equal to the Lord, right? The Supreme Lord Krishna is the only controller, and all living entities are controlled by him. It's very clearly understood. These living entities are his superior energy because the quality of their existence is one and the same. That is Asmita Mataji. She asked this question last Saturday, right? And we talked about this, about being same in quality. But they are never equal to the Lord in quantity of power. So quality-wise, we are same. Like a drop of the ocean has all the properties of the ocean water, but it is never equal to the ocean. Its ray of sun has all the qualities of sun, but a ray of sun is not sun. The same way we as jivas or living beings have the quality of the Lord, Sat Chit Anand, but we are not the Lord. So this is what we need to understand, right? Very beautiful example was given last time of Hanuman, right? Priya Radhika Mataji talked in detail about Hanuman. Didn't she talk about Hanuman? How Hanuman used all these 8 energies in the service of the Lord, right? But there was another character in Ramayana. You all remember this character in Ramayana? Ravana, right? Ravana was very powerful king. He had lot of power. He was very rich also. He had a lot of wealth. He was very knowledgeable also. He had conquered Indra. He had the best of Apsaras in his place. He could have any food that he wanted at any point, right? He would have the best of them dance for him. But was he happy? He was not. He was always anxious. He was always looking for something more. And then he heard about Mother Sita. And then he thought, oh, maybe if I have Sita, then I'll become happy. So what did he do? He went out and kidnapped Sita. And who is Mother Sita? Sita is the goddess of fortune. She is the consort of Ram. She is the goddess of everything that we see. She is the origin of this material world indirectly. So what is Ravana trying to do? Ravana was trying to engage Sita in his service. But whose service is Mother Sita engaged in? Mother Sita is engaged in service of Lord Ram. Ram is none other than Krishna. So goddess of fortune is always in service of Narayana. Right? And when we as human beings are trying to get more and more, we are building this golden fortress. What did Ravana have? Ravana didn't have a little gold. Remember when we have marriages, especially in India, we get a lot of gold. Our major expense in Indian marriage is about gold. And we get all that gold so that the bride can be dressed in gold. Golden earrings, golden necklace, bangles, all these Mangalsutra. We spend a fortune to just dress one body in gold. But imagine Ravana. He had so much gold that his entire city was covered in gold. But still, he wanted more. He was hankering for more. He was not happy. So he said, let me have Sita. And he engaged Mother Sita. He tried to engage Mother Sita in his service, right? Who's the goddess of fortune. But what happened? Then there was our dear Hanuman. Hanuman engaged the material service and burned down the Lanka. My dear friends, just think about it. If we are trying to engage everything material that we have in our own service, what are we trying to do? There is a Ravana inside us, inside all of us. If you're trying to engage the material energy, whose material energy it is? Of the Lord. Krishna just said in 7.4, everything comes from me. And we are also Krishna's energy. We are superior energy, right? But if we are trying to engage everything in Krishna's service, then we are spiritual. But if we are trying to engage everything in our service, then we are acting like a Ravana. So spiritual science is very simple, right? Who would you rather be, Ravana or Hanuman? I didn't hear it. That softly? Everybody here wants to be Hanuman, right? Everybody wants to be Hanuman. Nobody wants to be Ravan. So should we engage our material energies in our service, or we should engage in Krishna's service? That's a question that we have, right? If we continue to the purport, it says, while exploiting the gross and subtle energy, which is the matter, the superior energy, which is all of us, the living entities, forgets his real spiritual mind and intelligence, right? That's what is happening to us. We are forgetting who we are and what's our essential duty. This forgetfulness is due to the influence of matter upon the living entity. Now here is the twist, dear friends. Pay attention. Matter was the inferior energy. We, as the living being, are actually the superior energy. But still, matter can influence us. Why is that so? Superior energy should be in control. Matter is inferior energy. But how we can come under the control of matter? What do you think? Yes, Manali Mataji. I know you have an answer. Okay. Anybody else wants to think? Say, guess. It's okay. Nobody is getting, pass or fail here. We're all here to discuss. Why do we, as superior energy, come under the control of the material energy? Yes, that is true. Material energy is there. Three modes are very strong. Krishna says that The material energy is also very strong because it's Krishna's energy also. It comes from Krishna. And we as living beings, although superior in quality, remember we said that we are very, very tiny in quantity. So we have this tendency that we can go either ways. We can either take the shelter of the superior supreme energy of the Lord, or we can take shelter of the inferior material energy. And depending on whose shelter we take, we can go either ways. So in one way of explaining this, Krishna says that we actually are the marginal energy. Although we are superior in quality, we are the marginal energy. Krishna says that there is the inferior energy, matter, there is the supreme, that is his spiritual world, that's his superior energy, and we as living entity become marginal because we can take the shelter of either the superior or the inferior. So that is what we have to decide. And does Krishna give us the free will to do that? Yes, he does, right? So when the living entity becomes free from the influence of this material energy, he attains a stage which is called mukti or liberation, right? How do we understand this concept? It's actually very easy to understand. Has anyone here not been to a beach? No. So has everyone been to a beach? Raise your hand. And if you remember, raise the other hand too. Good. There is an important concept why you raise both your hand. I'll explain that later. But on the beach, if you see, there is that sand that is either in water or it's outside water. Right? That sand, layer of sand, it can be underwater or it can be outside water. That is known as tat, or the bank, or the shore. So in Sanskrit, marginal energy is known as tatashta sakti, because we can be either underwater, under material energy, or we can be outside. We can decide where we want to be. That is material energy. So that's why we have the power, right? The false ego, that is our understanding that we are this body, under the influence of illusion, thinks I am matter, and material acquisitions are all mine, right? I, me, mine. This is my house, my car, my property, my bank balance, my money, everything mine, my laptop, right? I think of this way, my phone. But actually everything is made up of atoms, molecules, electrons, protons, neutrons, and we can all see that this is all energy. And whose energy it is? Krishna's energy. Krishna is very well explaining this in 7.4 and 7.5. These are like the fundamental verses that if we understand, we have no problem in understanding what our position is and what Krishna's position is, right? So his actual position is realized, this is talking about us, his actual position is realized when he is liberated from all material ideas, including the conception of his becoming one in all respects with God. So if some people think that they can become God by doing some meditation, or by chanting some mantras, or by studying some literature, this is foolish idea, right? Therefore, one may conclude that Gita confirms the living entity to be only one of the multi-energies of Krishna. Krishna has many energies. Out of that one energy is Krishna. And when this energy is freed from material contamination, it becomes fully Krishna conscious or liberated. So it's up to us, dear friends, as to what we want to do. I would want to read this verse again to you, the translation, and it says that besides this, O mighty armed Arjuna, there is another superior energy of mine which comprises the living entities who are exploiting the resources of this material inferior nature. Does it make sense? What we all talked about? We talked about a lot of things today. So just to summarize, we had overview of these chapters from 1 to 7. In fact, before that, we had the overview of the whole Bhagavad Gita. 3 parts to Bhagavad Gita. All 18 chapters, how they are divided. What is that we're talking about? In detail, we talked about verse 7.5. 7.5 is when Krishna says that we are living beings, or jivas, are his superior energies. We talk about why Krishna is talking about himself. Krishna wants us to develop that loving relationship with him that's already there, but we have forgotten it. We have to reawaken our love for Krishna. So Krishna is talking about himself so that we know him. We can start loving him. We talked about how we are the superior energy of the Lord and we make the inferior energy animate and work. The world, inferior energy is not working. We make it work because we are the superior energy. And then we talked about how we come under the influence of this illusion, which is Maya, which is the inferior material energy. That we are like the sand on the beach that can be either underwater or outside. So it's up to us as to, what do we decide. And then what is the way to act in our current position when we can use everything like this microphone, like this laptop, like everything that we have, we can use in Krishna's service. So with this, dear friends, I would like to thank you all first and foremost for listening to me so patiently and participating so enthusiastically. I'd like to thank all our teachers, including Prabhupada. He's the reason why we are here. My Guru Maharaj, Radhanath Swami Maharaj. I took some stories from his talk on this verse, and Keshav Swami Maharaj, who has made the Think Gita, acronyms that I shared with you. Okay, so chapter 1 was doubt. Chapter 2 was Ita. Chapter 3 was tree. Chapter 4 was ears. Chapter 5, step. Chapter 6, easy. And 7, head. Why head? Is because we want to love God. Love happens through heart. So why head? But before love happens through heart, we get to know everything about that person. We get to know how that person is, whether that person comes from a good background, does he have good habits or bad habits, right? We just don't fall in love with anyone. So to know who Krishna is, we have to use our head. That's why chapter 7. So chapter 7 is a favorite chapter for a lot of folks, so it's a very important chapter. So thank you all. Please give some comments, correct me if I said something that was wrong, and if there is something I could answer. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So let's thank Adi Guru Prabhu by chanting loudly Hari Bol 3 times. Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. So you see how beautifully he presents the whole. He gave us like a bird eye view of Bhagavad Gita until chapter 7, right? He started right from the basic, right? We see people here, they might think, what is Gita? But he started with the basic from chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3. Before speaking 7.5, he was given a task of giving a talk on 7.5. He could have directly started, okay, 7.5, Krishna says this. But what about first 5 chapters who don't know, right? So beautifully he explained, he summarized everything nicely, right? So if any questions, we can take questions. But before that, what are the first Bhagavad Gita, he said, right? 5 things about Bhagavad Gita that teaches us, right? Bhagavad Gita teaches 5 things. And he beautifully presented it so we don't forget it, So I want to hear from each one of you. You want to go? All 5. Okay. 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 Yes, karma. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, you're looking there? No. Yeah. Yeah, good. So this is what Bhagavad Gita is. He said, people think this Bhagavad Gita is a religious book or teaching Hindu religion. If you read it, you will see it's a life manual, as he said. It teaches you how to use this life that you have got, the precious life, and you use it for, to love God, to serve God, right? That is the whole purpose. So we will open for questions. If any questions, there has to be some questions, right? It is said, if you don't have any questions, either you understood everything or you didn't understand anything. Okay, he has some questions.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thank you. It was a wonderful presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, Kalyan.
I have a small curiosity or question kind of thing. So the inferior energy and the superior energy you said, right? We are the superior energy and we choose the inferior energy, correct? That's the reason we are here. But why I chose, I did not get a taste of inferior energy before coming here. So how the superior energy know that I can go to the inferior energy and I can enjoy? I can choose the other path also, but I didn't choose and I came here. But if I experience, then I can enjoy. Say, okay, it is good. Without experiencing itself, how I can choose that?
That's a very, very good question as to how do you enjoy material energy, right? Yeah, why did we choose material energy in the beginning? We did not, but we had a desire to enjoy separate from Krishna. So Krishna said that the spiritual world you cannot enjoy separate from me because everything is Krishna. But we had a desire to enjoy it. So Krishna said, okay, let me make a replica, not so much, but a little playground for you. Like if your daughter, when she is not so grown up, wants to cook, what will you do? When she is little, like 3 or 4 years old, you will bring her a toy kitchen, right? So Krishna says, okay, I will make a world for you that is a little part of the spiritual world, like the spiritual world is 3/4, material world is 1/4. And I'll make some rules for you. You go there, you enjoy, and this is the way you can come back to me. But what did we do? We went there and we forgot who Krishna is. We forgot where our original home is. We forgot we want to go back. Why? Because we are in this illusory world which is temporary. It's not false. It is there, but it's temporary. But it's not really where we are. So we had the desire to enjoy separate from him. We may not have experienced the material energy in the beginning, but we had that desire to enjoy separate from him. That's why we are here. Thank you.
Questions? One more? Kalyan Babu? Anyone?
You can also give your reflections, and that will help me. Something that you liked or something that stayed with you, that will help me, or that will also help
Prabhu,
the speaker.
Utkarsh has something.
Yes, Utkarsh Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Thank you for the wonderful lecture.
Hare Krishna. Thank
I've
you.
written down my questions so that I can explain.
Oh, thank you. Prabhu, hold your mic a little closer for everyone. Yes.
Am I audible?
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay. So you mentioned about happiness, and that's a topic very dear to me. You mentioned about being very happy. You raised the hands as well. So I want to ask, what is the significance of happiness as an end goal in Bhagavad Gita, or this path? In other words, is experiencing absolute bliss by serving the Lord in Golokdam, is that the ultimate goal? So meaning when I go to Golokdam, I'm going to serve the Lord and experience bliss. Is that bliss the ultimate goal of this path?
Okay, let me ask you a question. When you hug your child to get the hug, or you are hugging your child to give the hug?
To exchange love between the two consciousness.
So if you see that the child is not feeling good, then you hug the child, right? Who are you doing it for? Are you doing for yourself, or are you doing for the child?
For the child.
For the child. But when you hug the child, do you get something in return? You get the same hug, right? The same hug that you're giving, you are also getting it, right? That's exactly the beauty of spiritual relationship and exchanges. You give it selflessly, but in the process, you are also going to give it. But if your goal is to get the hug, then the child will not hug you. Try this with a child and you will know that if you want to really give the hug to the child and the child needs it, you hug the child and the child will hug you really tightly. And you would think that I wanted to hug the child, but the child hugged me so well that I feel happy in my heart. That is happiness in service. But if your goal is to be happy, then you will never get that happiness in service where the goal was not happiness. It's very strange how happiness works. So real happiness or ananda is going to come as a byproduct of bhakti, devotional service. If you try to be happy You say that I want to go to Golok Vrindavan so that I am happy. You will never get to Golok Vrindavan in the first place because that's an impurity. We want to go to Golok Vrindavan to serve Krishna. When that is our goal, then Ananda will come automatically because that's our natural position. So there is something to be said about service that is selfless. That selfless service is the key to happiness. And that Ananda or bliss is a byproduct of bhakti, and bhakti is devotional service. So our goal is bhakti, which is love of God. That is the goal. That should be highest. Ananda will come. But if we keep Ananda on the top, then we will never get bhakti. Then we'll never get Ananda. So it's a conundrum, right? We all want to be happy. There's no doubt about it. But in Bhagavad Gita itself, Krishna says that once you develop a higher taste, lower taste will automatically go away. There is something in bhakti, in devotional service, in selfless service. Once we get that taste, we would not want to get a lower taste. And the highest taste is in bhakti. Is that okay, Prabhu? Thank you. Wonderful question. Very, very intelligent. Thank you.
Okay.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Any other questions? Naren Prabhu was not here, but he has questions.
Yes.
I was watching, Prabhu, YouTube.
Haribol. Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Wonderful session.
Oh, thank you.
When we say the happiness, the bliss, right? So there is a difference. Like when we experience the sad, then we'll feel happiness and the significance of happiness. We know that. But bliss, until we experience, right? As you said, bhakti is the right path through which we can, go to that bliss. But in general, like for example, I will say, Prabhuji, like when you go to New York, then only you will experience it and you will feel it. And you will feel the difference between Cincinnati and New York, right? So without going New York, we are practicing here bhakti. So at what time we can get to that point, oh, this is the bliss? Is there any answer for it? Or?
Very good, yeah. If you have not experienced the bliss of bhakti, how do you realize what that bliss is? That's your question.
Correct.
Before going to Hawaii for vacation, whether Hawaii is a good place or not, who do we ask?
Who visited? Like
who visited, right?
Right.
So somebody who has experienced
experienced.
it, right? So tat vidhi pranipatena pariprashtena sevaya. So upadekshanti te jnanam jnani nas tattva darshana 4:34. We should understand that there are acharyas, there are pure devotees in this world who have experienced that bliss of pure devotion. Their bliss is to the level that we cannot experience by ourselves. We can only experience in their company. We can see it in them. So whenever we come in contact with such pure devotees like Srila Prabhupada or current Guru Varga, when we see them doing kirtan, when we see them doing devotional activities, we can experience what that is through them. That is the best way, I would say, to experience it ourselves is we come close to them and we'll see it. One amazing opportunity is Sadhu Sangha.
Yeah.
In Sadhu Sangha, when you will see all the sannyasi Guru Vargas there, and then you see, other thing is, you go to New Vrindavan, you see Prabhupada's disciples there. Wherever you get an opportunities, you get in touch with these realized souls, then you can see that they are experiencing something that is higher. And we can only pray for their mercy. When we get their association, their mercy, we will get to experience it, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Thank you. Hare Krishna. Very wonderful question.
Okay.
Yes, Manali Mataji. Yes.
So, the 7.4,
Yes.
So in the verse today that you explained, it has superior energy and inferior energy. Inferior is the material energy. So then the water, fire, air, ether, mind, intelligence, it will come under superior energy.
No, that's inferior.
Inferior.
That's the inferior.
Okay, so
that's
this is the material energy.
Yes,
Okay.
yeah. Mind, intelligence, and false ego are also material. They are subtle. That means you can't actually see them. Earth, water, fire, air, ether is like we can touch, we can see, we can smell, we can hear. But mind, we can't touch, feel, or hear. It's subtle, right? Even subtler than mind is intelligence. You don't know what, you can't understand what it is, right? It's the way our brain works, so it's subtle. Even subtler than that is the ego. So these are subtle elements, but these are also material, Krishna says here. That means that these are going to end with the end of the universe. But living beings as a soul, as Atma, you, me, everyone around us, everyone in this room, we are actually superior energy. We are eternal. We are Sat, we are Chit, we are Ananda. We are actually Ananda. Ananda is that bliss. We are all blissful.
Okay, so the soul is referred to as the superior.
Yes, soul is superior energy. But we can come easily under the influence of matter because matter is also Krishna's energy and it's very strong. And because we are tiny. So whenever we are tiny, we can easily come under material energy. But when a lot of souls come together and we talk about Krishna, then we become stronger, right? As well, small sticks come together and you tie a bundle, you can't break that. If you take small sticks individually, it's very easy to break. So how do we fight the material energy? We fight material energy by coming together. And centers like this are the perfect shelter where we can all come together and discuss these topics that will help us progress. So that's how we become stronger and we win against material energy. Thank you. So it's about 6:15.
Yeah, so Prabhu, yeah. We can stop here if no questions. Anybody here for the first time? They can quickly introduce, yeah. Tell me your name and how did you get
My name's Caleb. These are my friends here, and my wife's over here, Morgan. We came here just to be a part of the community and worship God. So thank you for having us.
Thank you, Caleb. Thank you. Let's chant, and we thank by saying Hari Bol 3 times loudly. So we will say Hari Bol for you. Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Thank you. Thank you for coming, and please keep coming every Saturday. So we have this, how we do is we sing, as you saw.
To one of them you may have.
Yeah, so we will sing as we do Kirtan, and then we have nice discourse, which will give you some spiritual realization. And then after that, we again have Kirtan, dancing Kirtan. We danced last time, everybody was here, and we had a lot of fun. So we will dance and we will sing, and then we will have nice feast, right? So please keep coming every Saturday. Anybody here for the first time? Okay.
My name is Sahil, and it's my first time today. He brought me here. He's my good friend. Sahil.
Okay, let's welcome Sahil by chanting Hari Bol 3 times loud.
Hari
Bol,
Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol.
So these are true friends, right? Who get the higher taste, they bring their friend to taste it.
Yes.
That's what it is. So it's always good, right? To get your friends, because you are liking something, then you definitely want to share, right? Isn't it? We don't want to keep it in a locker. Share it. And so thank you, Prabhu, Hari Prabhu, for bringing. Anybody else? Okay. Who? Morgan? Oh, okay.
Yeah, she would like to say, so Caleb and Morgan and Sahil, welcome all of you. Yes,
Yeah,
Morgan.
wait, what am I supposed to say? Just
You
how we got
just
here?
say, yeah.
Well, thank you guys for having us. This is a blessing. And yeah, we're here to worship God and just be a part of you guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Welcome, Morgan.
Thank you.
Yes.
Welcome Morgan by chanting Hari Bol. Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Okay, if anybody else, if nobody, I have to make a quick announcement. So, ISKCON Cincinnati have made one record today. You know, anybody can guess what is that? So from March 1st, Aditya Narayan Prabhu and Vishwanath Prabhu has taken the book distribution. We call it Sankirtan movement. And they have been distributing book left and right. You know, Aditya Narayan Prabhu and Vishwanath Prabhu, they both are not here. Right now they are doing a service and doing book distribution in mind, body and spirit, right? There is a event going on, they are distributing books there. So far since March 1st, almost 500 books they have distributed. Let's chant Hari Bol for them. So it's a record. Hari Bol. We have never done this. At least I haven't seen since 2014. So 500 books in a month. It's amazing, right? So let's pray for them so they can distribute books. As Adi Guru said, knowledge, right? We can get knowledge through either through people like him who can give us this knowledge so easy way, or we can get books. Sometimes it happens, we get book, we keep it in our shelf. And then sometimes we say, okay, let me read it. And then when we read, then you see how much vast the knowledge is and that is helping you. So having book is always good. If anybody is not having here Bhagavad Gita, we have Bhagavad Gita here, the life manual. You can take it and you can get it for minimal donations, whatever you want to give, right? So please reach out to me or him or one of us. We can give you Bhagavad Gita. We have right here, right? Okay. Adhiguru, we want to go with... so we have to give some update about this property. Like we got this property and everything. So we want to give some update where we are, because people have been curious what's going on with this property, what is our financial status, how the zoning is going on. So as a council, we all decided that how about, we share the update when everybody is here, so that everybody can understand and they can get, and any questions, anything, feel free to ask once they give all the update. So we'll try to answer all your questions. I think, Satya Govind Prabhu will give the updates from finance, starting from finance, and then...
Hare Krishna. Sorry you hear from me again. Okay, let's do this. Let's raise our hand, both of them. And then say Hare Krishna and bring them down. Hare Krishna. One. Let's do it again. Hare Krishna. Let's do it again. Hare Krishna. This brings energy in us. This brings oxygen in us. We breathe better so that we can understand. What's our goal? Our goal is to get everybody up to speed where we are. We got this center about 2 years ago now. Yeah, about 2 years ago. When we got this was a commercial property, as it's in a commercial zone. So when it's in commercial zone, it has got certain things that we can do here. Religious work is not allowed in a commercial zone. So we applied for a change of zone to the township here. Went through the Hamilton County, through the township, through the trustees. We wanted to also make a gift shop and a restaurant. And long story short, our application was denied. They did not the zone change. We went into understanding through the lawyers as to what is the reason and is there any chance of getting this zoning change. They talked to the lawyers of the county and essentially said that it will be very, very difficult because this is a retail zone. If we apply for a change, we will just get religious zoning if at all. We may not be able to do gift shop or restaurant. If we apply just for religious use, we may be able to get it. And then the other thing was that there is a possibility it would be denied because this is still a retail zone and the county can deny that. If we get denied a second time, there is a chance that we could apply in court and fight it and legal challenge. That might take years. And we may be successful, we may not be successful. So bottom line is that legally, it seems very difficult that we are going to get a permission to build a temple here. Parallel to the legal challenges, we also have financial challenges. As we know that, it's a material energy, so physical building, it has lights and air conditioning and there are bills to be paid, property taxes to be paid, maintenance, mortgage to be paid. In the short term, we can, in a nutshell, I can say that financially we are in like loss for the last 3-4 months. That if with this speed, we will not be able to continue to maintain here. So legally we have issue. Financially also we have significant challenges. Although many of us are contributing, but we're still not up to this speed. We can get the numbers from Satyagovind Prabhu here shortly, so that everybody is up to speed with all transparency as to where we are. So what's our next best option? This has become like a white elephant, what we call. It's very difficult to sustain. So we may be looking to let go of that. That might be in the best interest, and we may look for something different, some other place, maybe a little smaller, maybe something that we can manage better, because we don't have any other option. As a council, we have discussed it with all the leaders in the community as well that are favorable to us, people who are in real estate, people who are builders, people who don't come to our gathering, but who are favorable to us and who have a lot of connections. We have discussed with them as well. Bansal Uncle is here in the back. He has been very, very instrumental in helping us in every which way, not only just financially, in guiding and helping us. So we are getting to the point where that might be the only solution, that we may have to let go of this property. If there is any other ideas that you have, we will welcome to hear from you. Would you like to see the finances before you make any comments? Is that something that is okay with all? So that Satyagovind Prabhu can discuss the finances, Prabhu? Yeah. The same thing that you sent me? Yes.
Hare Krishna, everyone. Hare Krishna. So Adiguru Prabhu already gave the synopsis of where we are in terms of the legal challenges, in terms of building. But we are still confident that we will be able to get a place which Krishna wants for himself. Krishna is not straight, so he does not let his divorcees to be straight. So nothing happens smoothly. Everything there is a twist. And that is what Adiguru Prabhu talked about. So I don't think it's a big worry that where we'll go next and all. He has a plan for us. So stating that, let's just go on the overview. And this is from January to March 2026. So we had $68,000 of income, which I will just give you the breakout, and $72,000 of expenses, leading us a $4,000 of loss. Now this is for last 3 months. We have some reserves where we are getting in and just pulling out some of the funds. And as Radhaguru talked about legal challenges, we cannot get into legal challenges just because of funding and all. So this is the overall synopsis. Then we just go to the next page where we give the overview of what are the bifurcation of income and expenses. Now, income, which is $48,000, you see, I'm just taking whole numbers. So $48,000 was the contribution that you all make, which is a donation that comes, and then 20,000 is other sources. Now, what are other sources? It's Govindas. Out of this 20,000, 10,000 came from Govindas. And then there are other sources, book distribution, there are other sources, which is other than the normal contribution. That is what this 20,000. And then expenses, we have cash expenses of 60,000, and then you see $12,000. Because this property is still not a religious zone, we have to still pay property taxes, which is $48,000 a year, $4,000 a month. That is the property taxes which we have to accrue because we have to just pay as a whole sum, but that is an expense that we have to accrue each month. So that's what you see, $12,000 of taxes, which makes up $72,000. It's not an immediate cash flow problem. It's a cash flow that will come, but it's a rolling thing. So last year's cash is going this year, and this year cash will go that year, so it does not matter. I mean, it will still be a cash out. So everyone clear on this? This is the details of the income which I just gave. So $48,000 is what devotee, and then book sales, Govindas. Also, we have rented this property. I don't know if a lot of people would know. Kailasji has rented this property from us, and we get a bulk of rent from him, which makes up most of the $4,500 that you, $5,500 that you see. That is a rental, comes from Kailasji and other people who just come, or other devotees who just comes and rent this place. And then there is a small contribution from gift shop, and there are miscellaneous others, which is type of some rebates and this and that we do. So that is what that makes up our $68,000 of the income. Now, if you see the two numbers out here, so there are total devotees which contributed for January, February, March was 72. Now, this is somebody gave a donation of $2, that is also included. Anything that comes and they have their name is what comes as, so there are 72, out of which 33 devotees are contributing monthly. So we have a monthly contribution of 11,500 continuous. Every month, 11,500 is guaranteed to come, out of which 8 devotees are contributing 8,500, and rest 25 devotees are contributing 2,500. So that is what 33 are monthly contributions. These are the details of expenses. We already talked about the real estate taxes, which is 12,000. We have a mortgage payment. So we still have a loan of approximately $1 million, 900 something, which we have to just pay every month to the bank. So that is what $26,000 is. And utilities, we don't have a gas connection out here. So this is all run on electricity. So that electricity cost is much higher than the gas cost. So for January, February, March, we got approximately $5,000 to $6,000 of electric bill every month. So that was the big, that's why I just highlighted red. That's not a continuous, in summers we see that toned down by probably $1,000 a month. But in winters, it's pretty high. That's why you see that utilities, and then insurance is almost $1,500 a month for this property to just get insured, which is the big cost. And then rest are small expenses. There are repair expenses, which always goes in this building because there are something or other that comes up. And then Govinda's expenses. So they contributed 10,000, but there is a cost as well, which is $8,000 of the cost. And anyone has any questions, please let me know. We have all the details. This is all your money, and this is just full transparency. I'm just giving high-level numbers, but I have all the details of this. Let me know, Mataji.
So just to be clear, the Govinda's expenses is not just only for Govinda, it's the paper plates that we
Everything.
here.
Everything.
So just to be clear, that 7,951 is not just for Govindas. That does not mean that Govindas only contributed $3,000. That also includes the paper plates, the paper products, napkins, spoons that we use here. They are not donated. They are all ordered from Govindas. So the contribution from Govindas is much higher than what it portrays there. So I just wanted to make that clear.
Yeah, so good point. So all the prasadam that is made out in Govindas or in the kitchen and serve out here is coming from all the Govindas thing. I mean, this contribution of $10,000 include that Saturday feast sponsorship as well. So everything is Govinda. So 7,900 includes everything which is like groceries and the paper plates and everything. So the net amount after the feast that we have out here is 10,000 minus 8,000, so approximately $2,000. Yes.
Yes, I have a question. So you're saying about getting another place smaller, you still have to pay the mortgage on this property.
We are just planning to sell this property and
to be realistic, you're not going to sell it and then get another place. So my question is, are you planning on staying here until you sell it and then getting another place, or getting another place and just paying the mortgage on here and basically shutting off the electricity? And
so we are doing both. When I say both, we are searching for the new place, and at the same time we are also finding the buyers. So Prabhu, what I said was we are also searching the place. At the same time, we are also finding the buyers. What comes first is Krishna's thing. That whether we get a place first or we get a buyer first. So that is, but we are more intense on looking for the buyer so that we don't pay the mortgage as you mentioned, and look for the place. Till the time we have that 90 days or 120 days to close this property, we might just go and find another place to just move out to that place.
So just to add, Satyakund Prabhu, if you
Yes.
so as you said, Prabhuji, like what is our plan? So Satyakund Prabhuji said, right, we are doing both. So now example, say somebody come and put an offer to this property and we sell this property. So now the question comes where we will go, right? We don't have another place, so where we will go? So we spoke to Chirai Prabhu. His C3, everybody remembers C3, that is still available. So we might have to go back there, and as we were doing, we practiced there, and we look for the property. Maybe property might come before that, before moving. So everything is going in parallel. Whichever comes first, we will take it.
Thank you, Kamal Krishna Prabhu, for the clarification. Yes, everything is going in parallel. And we are more dependent on Krishna than on us. So whatever his plans are, if he planned to sell this building, he will have plans to have a building for us as well. So hopefully he just makes sure that we have that. And this is the Govinda's detail.
So how we are able to mitigate this deficit, you mentioned, right, 4,000 something like. So until that happens, which is going in parallel, right, moving to the new place and or you selling out this, so that deficit, what is the plan to mitigate it?
We don't have a concrete plan in the sense, either we just go and say we wanted to start, Kamal Krishna Prabhu had a lot of effort in putting up and starting the truck. We have a food truck, which we wanted to start, but again, county just came and said you cannot do the truck out here. So there are a lot of restrictions that are we facing. So there were a lot of plans that we come up, but then taken aback because this does not fall under the zoning of this building. So now whatever we are looking, we are making sure that that is a church, like church in the sense it is recognized, or we can do the church activities, we can open a restaurant, we can run the food trucks. So we are just looking for all those things which will make us successful of not having that deficit. And the other thing is, we will just also get all your help. Those who are contributing, they are contributing, but those who are not contributing, we will just ask them to just start contributing some portion of it, whatever. As I said that, that 72 devotees is including $2 as well. It's not that you have to contribute $200. Whatever you feel like, you can just contribute to get rid of that deficit. It's just $4,000 for 3 months, which is approximately $1,500 a month, which is not a big amount. If 15 of us come forward and just give $100 a month, it's all done. So at least we will be break even. The expenses for maintaining C1 is approximately 2,000 to 2,500 per month. C1 is the kitchen. The kitchen where we just have the food, we have the resources, we have all the groceries, the expenses that you see, 7,900 or 8,000 that you saw, that is what C1 for 3 months is. It just depends. Sometimes we have repairs and maintenance, sometimes we don't, but fixed cost is approximately $2,000.
There is also one more thing that we are There are many teams who cook prasadam, and there are some teams who actually buy their own groceries. Like Advaita team, Priya Radhika Mataji is in that team, and there are many people here from her team. When they make prasadam, they actually buy their own groceries from their own side. So there is more expenses than what we see here that devotees are contributing. So just to give an idea as to how the center is run, so that everybody is aware. Yes, Seema Mataji.
In the past, we used to cook in our own houses and bring stuff. So is it worth spending $2,000+ a month just to cook for the weekend, or can we just go backwards and do what we did before?
Mataji, when we were doing that, we had a devotee base of 50 to 70, maybe maximum 100. Today we have 150 to 200. So it just gets difficult, and then how many people we just want them to cook, coordination and so much. So it's just one place. But that $2,000 is where we just get the contribution, something is supported, and if Krishna willing, we can start the food truck with Kamal Krishna's Prabhu's effort, and then maybe that contribution comes in. So probably overall it is, we did go over that option, that if we just go over that option, there are no groceries. And as Adiguru Prabhu mentioned, that there are teams coming forward and saying that, okay, this week's groceries on us and we will just not get from Govinda's. So those things help, and maybe that will just continue, and in a short run that will continue, and long run we'll see that what are the other options that we can have. Maybe we can have a new place with a kitchen in there, and then that's easier and we'll avoid that cost. So we have to just browse the options of the new place and see what we get in there. Okay. So these are the details of the Govindas, which feast sponsorship, which is the $251 that we get. Everyone, sometimes we just get more. There was Gaur Purnima, for which we got a substantial donation. That's why you see 3,500. And then the catering that is done by Sri Radhika and Mani Mataji, along with other devotees, Minu Mataji, is what we just had, 7,400. Catering was at peak in January and mid-February. Because of winters, maybe it was just toned down in February and March. Maybe it will just pick up in summer. So that is the income that is a revenue for the catering income. And then rest is all insurance, miscellaneous, groceries, salaries, and other maintenance stuff. So that is the Govinda. So we had made a net of $3,000. Now to Adiguru's Prabhu's point, this $3,000 includes a contribution also from the teams who has contributed towards the groceries, which is not accounted for because they just contribute, and I don't know about that, what that amount is, so I don't put in their cost, but that cost is also probably substantial, which helps us to make this $3,000. So that was the overall. I was thinking of putting up a page that what are the costs that we are expecting till the time we sell this building. So one of the big costs is, as I mentioned, $48,000 of property taxes. Now property taxes are paid for last year property taxes, it will be paid this year. So we have already paid $23,000. In next 3 months, we have to pay $23,000 of that. Insurance is coming up, renewal of the insurance is coming up, which is $10,000. So those are the two big expenses that we have to just pay, like approximately $40,000 is what we have to pay. And then rest just goes as and when there are the repairs and all. So those are the ones which are forecast of next quarter. That in next quarter, those two expenses will come and hit us, which we have a provision because those were provided for last year. So we have that enough provision for that, but just wanted to give a flavor of that is also coming up in the next quarter. So you will see that expenses in the next quarter. So any questions or anything that anyone has which we can clarify? And this is all transparent. If you just feel like, you want more details, you want to sit with me and go over the details, more than happy to just do that. This is all your money. We are more managing the money rather than creating that any revenue. So anything that you feel you want more details, please do let me know. Kamal Krishna Prabhu, Adiguru Prabhu, and any of the council members, Bansal Uncle, everybody is aware of it. So we will more than happy to just walk you through all the finances. If we rent C3 and sell this, yes. So we will not have $4,000 per month. Yes, that will be gone. Yeah. But C3 is up for sale. So we don't know when that will also be sold. So we have to have our property, like ISKCON's property. That is the plan B. Hopefully we get that before moving to C3 and before this is sold out. But let's see. We don't know what Krishna has plans for us. Yes. And the last, if we sell this, when we sell this property, there is two components of that total amount. So we took this building for 1.7 million. We took a loan of 1.4 million. The loan is 960 odd thousand, say $1 million. So we have already paid $700,000 for this property already, which is we have created that equity. So the good thing that happened while we took this property is we have created the equity. When we took this property, there was no equity. But with all your contributions, that equity has been built up, which is $600 to $700 depending upon how much we sell this property for. That equity will be helping us to get and secure the other property, and we'll take a loan for the rest. So it will be the same situation that will, but I think it will be much better because we will be freely doing all the activities that we want to do, and then that will probably, there will be more devotees coming in because now it's a religious organization. People know that there is a temple going to be made. This one, we are not able to make the temple, unfortunately. But that property will be more, people will be coming and attaching to that ISKCON and then helping us out to get over that loan as well. Yeah. We did. So that is what this one Kailash is. We are given a small rent. The second floor, which is fully vacant, we went for that rent. Again, we have to go for a big approval that, is it an office rent? Is it a religious rent? What is that rent? We don't know today. So we had the property dealer or the real estate agent go and browse those options. There were a couple of them, but again, because of ifs and buts of the counties, this one, that one. So there were so many things going in parallel that we were just not able to go and rent that out. And when we rent out, it's not like 6 months or 1 year. We have to just have a longer period rent. We just wanted to make sure if it is an office which comes and rents the second prop, yes, we can. But every now and then coming like, I will take 1/4, I will take half, that's more of an hassle than benefit. So that's why we have restricted ourselves just to have that entire floor rented to one person or one team or one company rather than bits and pieces. So that was one of the reasons of not going for that rent. Okay, thank you for listening. This financial update will be, there are some copies. If you just want, you can take the hard copy. It's out there in the gift shop. And it will be presented in all the screens after the program. And anything that you want, you can just let me know or any of us know. We will be more than happy. And then as and when everything gets finalized, we'll keep you posted on if we have a buyer, what is the final decision, what amount we are getting, if we have a new property, where it is and what it is. We will keep you apprised of everything that we go through every quarter. And if it is sooner than the quarter, obviously we'll just bring that update as well to you guys. Okay. Hare Krishna. Thank you for listening. Hare Krishna.
Any questions? Anyone? No one? Yes, Meena Mataji. Yeah.
Sorry.
You don't have to be sorry. All questions welcome.
Thank you. Can you suggest some of the ways that we can all contribute? Could it be like the prasadam or the groceries or monthly? We most of us live in Mason, and Mason Community Center charges like $150 a month for a family of 4. So something like that. Can we do anything like that?
It's definitely, you guys are doing a lot, contributing, as I mentioned, that, there are 72 devotees coming up and contributing towards our revenue. There are a lot of devotees going and helping in cooking. There are a lot of devotees coming and helping in this center, which is a big cost avoidance. Cost avoidance is also a type of contribution that everybody is doing. This is something that we need to go out in the community and ask their help as well. It just few of us, 100, 200, 300 people out here may not be able to cover all the cost. Any organization that we go, we have to just go out. So we have to go out, but when we go out, we need to say that this is a charitable, this is a church. This is where we are making the temple. Today we cannot go out. But to your point, Minu Mataji, yes, the Govindas, right now catering is done by, three of you, where, Sri Radhika Mataji, Mani Mataji and you. Maybe there are more people which take turns so that people don't get tired out and say that, okay. If we have catering for 3 days, we might have turns and then we might also, those who are not contributing, they can just come forward. And as I mentioned, contribution is not $200, $100, whatever you feel like, you can just contribute, which will just help us to get rid of that deficit that you saw, which is $4,000. So as long as we are break even, we should be good to run this organization. But we have a certain reserve, and every reserve gets depleted over a period of time. That reserve that we have cannot continue more than 6 months. So we have secured for 6 months, but we have to see what our plans, Krishna has plans for us post 6 months if we just don't get more contributions from all the other devotees. Yes, Mataji.
If this property is worth 1.7 and we are looking for another property, are we looking in the Mason area, which is very, very expensive right now with mortgages going up? Are we looking for a smaller place, like you said, a church, which might have a kitchen and other things, and we don't have to get a religious zoning? What happens in that case, you don't have to have volunteers transiting from C1 to here, which is why we cannot do seva. For us, it's a long commute. So when you consider, if you do consider a new place, think of all these options, which are good for the whole community, where everybody likes to volunteer. But with older people, we cannot go, there and come back here. If it's one place like we used to do earlier, So if you're looking for you're looking for another place, is it going to be in Mason? Mason is outrageous.
Yeah.
So we have to look for, is it going to be lower than this place? Then where do we go? Outside, outskirts, and I know
so thank
those
you, Mataji.
options.
Yes, definitely. Those options are on paper. That kitchen, which is in Tri-County, is not the ultimate, not the long-term solution. We are going to have a solution, which is, if this building was approved for a church, we would have decided to build a kitchen out here. So any place that we see or we hire or we rent or whatever we do, we buy, we will make sure if there is no kitchen, we'll have the kitchen out there. So in the long term, yes, kitchen, temple, center should be one place where devotees can come, cook and do kirtan, bhajan, classes all together rather than just commuting from C1, C2, C3, C4, whatever properties we have. So definitely, yes, that. And looking in and around Mason, that is the option. I mean, we want that, but as you mentioned that, we are just, its price are outrageous, and when you sell, you get low or you get less, but when you buy, you have to pay more. So that's how it works. And we are just trying. Again, it's all, we are praying to Krishna to get us a better property in and around Mason so that we have more devotees come and join us, but don't know as of now. Uncle, if you have any comments or anything that you want to add, please.
Oh, you guys done a good job.
Hare Krishna, everyone. This is just a small thought or sharing from my end. Can I come here? It is not a pressure, not a force, but just my thought, what I have learned from scriptures. So there is a certain amount of part from our salary or from our earning, we should always give it to temple. Like today what we read, the material, and together we grow, if together we stand, nobody can break us. That's what we learned today. I'm not saying that we should give 50% or 25%, but $1, for example, today we are here around 50 or 60 devotees are here. If 50 or 60 devotees every Saturday, if we give just $1, just $1, not more than that, that will be a start of a help. And I think, Prabhu, it will be a help for us. So even a single penny counts a lot. So not too much, but $1. Maybe, one day we can skip the Starbucks coffee. We can skip the McDonald's, we can skip the candy. But that $1 will count a lot in this contribution. And it will be beneficial for everyone, not for our generation, but we should look for the next generation, the coming generation. So thinking for them, try doing it. Again, I'm saying it is not a force, it is not a pressure. It is just my thought that $1 will not cost much, but it will help a lot. Thank you.
And
Sure, Prabhu. We have a box here for Hari. It's not for us. Yeah. Sure. Prabhu, would you like to take the lead if everybody permits?
Okay, so as Mataji said, she said very well that $1 can make a difference. But what happens is, if we ask money, $1, $20, the reason we are showing this, not to ask money from you guys. Okay, just want to make that clear. If you have that inner thing, you can give. We are not forcing you, as she rightly said. It's her thought she is bringing up, because that's how in Hindi we say, right? A drop of water can fill the whole jar. But we are here to give God consciousness to you. Whatever as a council we all are doing, we are all doing our best effort. Not only council, as Satyavant Prabhu said, everybody is doing their job whatever best they can do. Somebody is contributing with their body, right? Sri Radhika Mataji, Satyavant Prabhu's wife, Mani Mataji, they have been doing catering for 100, 500 peoples, right? In and out. So we see how people are contributing. Few people are contributing with money, right? Because they are not able to contribute through body, they are contributing through money. So any way you can contribute to this whole purpose, that will be good for the whole congregation. And from money perspective, right, please don't feel that we are showing or portraying anything just to get money out of your pocket. We don't want money from your pocket, right? If you feel, as she said again rightly, go ahead, you can give donations. We give donations, charity everywhere, right? So I just wanted to make that clear. And other good thought, like she only brought up that thought, is like how we are cooking in C1, which we call Center 1. We have kitchen. We are paying $2,000 rent and everything there, right? So if we do potluck kind of thing, right? As Satyavant Prabhu said, it is very difficult because we have 150 to 200 people. We were doing that before. But what happens is only 4 or 5 Matajis will pick things. There are like 60 members or 40 members in the group, WhatsApp group, but only those 4 or 5 Matajis are picking prasadam every time. So they are also getting burned out. So that's where we decided that, okay, let's have a center, have a kitchen, and we collaboratively go there. It's an association also, we cook, we talk, and then we nicely, as a team, we work. We created 6 teams, and we are making prasadam. So if we have to go back that to save $2,000, if you all agree to that, maybe we can start that. Again, I see a lot of Mataji are enthusiastic now. They can serve. Like we can have 4 batch of rice, 4 batch of rajma, all. There'll be multiple batches, but we can do that. That is an option as well. So any way you can help, that is great, right? Satyavant, you want to add something?
No, thank you, Kamal Krishna Prabhu for that. Yes, it's no way we are asking for money, no. So I'm from Vrindavan and I love to go to Banke Bihari temple. I don't know how many people of you have visited Banke Bihari temple. You cannot step in the temple. I mean, it's so much crowd. Now they have railings and everything where you cannot step. Are they asking money? No. And every day now in summers, there is a full bangla. Like it's full of flowers. And in India, it's 10 lakhs rupees for one full bangla. And if I want to go and want to get a full bangla, I need to be in a queue for 2 years. After 2 years, I will get my turn. That is how many people wants to do that. Why? Why? It's not that they are asking for money, no. It's just people are going, they feel like giving, they feel like doing, and they feel like serving the God. So it's not that we are asking money anyway, or there is nothing of that sort. Slowly it's Krishna's mercy. Krishna will just bring it. It has to happen. It has been running for 2 years, where we were initially having more donations, then it lowered, but it never stopped. We still have prasadam, we still have all the activities, we never stopped anything. And Krishna is just arranging for something. If there is something which is short for a particular month, somehow something happens. I just don't know, it's a miracle. Something happens and we get a donation. $2,000 short, we get it. I don't know where. Somebody just comes and gives the check. It just happens. So it's no way that Krishna is dependent on us. He has enough. Lakshmi ji is Krishna, doing charan seva. So dollars will just make a difference. But it's towards Krishna. Krishna records each and everything that we do for him. That is what it is. And second thing, from a tax perspective, I want to bring, which I just learned. We know that Trump has introduced that one beautiful bill, whatever. In 2026, if you are taking standard deduction, there will be additional $2,000 of donation deductions as well. So till now, if you are taking donation deductions, you cannot take a standard deduction. But in 2026, you can also do standard deduction. Over and above, you can get a donation deduction for $2,000 for the entire year. So if you just pay $150 every month, you get a deduction of 20-30%, depending upon whatever it is, which comes to a substantial amount. And that $200 goes to $140 because $60 government is paying you back. So that's just a small thing that was introduced in 2026. For giving donation, you get that deductions from your tax returns. So that was it, and I think it just went up. But thank you for listening. Thank you for everything. And I think we just keep, as a congregation, we want you to come to the center, not for money, but to just, as Kamal Krishna Prabhu said, just so that we can all get together, have the classes, and serve Krishna. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you all. We will do Aarti, and then after that there is Prasadam. So we can all stand up. All the gentlemen will be here, Prabhujis, all the ladies will be here.